channel. I'm sitting differently today, so I'm sitting more back instead of being so close to the camera. So just let me know if you like this, because I don't know, I just felt like doing it differently today. Anyway, so today is Storytime Sunday. Yay! That was so random. But today's storytime is about a road trip that I took once upon a time. And I think I decided to do this because today, Quincy and I, we did a little mini adventure. We went on a little trip to Tampa, which is only like an hour away. But then we got home and I was like, okay, let me film storytime. And the first storytime that came to my mind was one time that I took this road trip from New York to Canada. And it was just the worst road trip of my whole entire life. So I was like, why not tell this story time? Let's get started. So this story time takes place when I was in 6th grade. It was right after winter break. So it was snowing. It was really cold. It was my first time seeing snow. So my mom, my friend's parents, her grandma, her uncle, and me, obviously, we went to New York, and we first landed in New York City. We spent 2 days in New York City. We did, pretty sure we did like an Airbnb kind of thing, like way back then. We stayed in this apartment, which was like on the 4th floor, and you had to like walk up the stairs because there was no elevator, and it was so much fun. It was like right in my hand. It was my first time, and I fell in love with New York City from that moment. That was the first time I knew true love at first sight. And then after the first couple of days in New York City, we decided to drive from New York City to Toronto because we have family friends that live in Toronto. So the plan was that we would drive from New York City, stop in Syracuse, New York, because at the time my sister was in college and she went to Syracuse University in New York. Duh. Well, not duh that she went there, but like that's like where she went, in Syracuse. But somehow we got very lost on the way. We ended up, I'm pretty sure we drove up through like Maryland or something like that. I don't know, the GPS we were using, this was before like GPS on your phone and shit existed, before data kind of thing, before you could just like GPS on your phone. It was just, you had to have like an actual GPS, and the GPS was wrong. We would have been better off just looking at a map and being like, okay, we're taking this straight to Toronto. So we drove up and we ended up entering Canada through the Quebec side, because I think we drove up, pretty sure we like bordered Canada through the US side, and then we entered through Quebec side. So we entered through this like remote place. It was just crazy where we entered. It was middle of nowhere. The person barely even asked us for our passports when we entered into Canada, and everybody spoke French and we didn't really know French. And I was taking French classes in middle school, so I knew like fromage, which is like cheese, and like toilette, which is toilet. I don't know, I knew like some like keywords like bonjour or like whatever, you know. I'm not French, so I don't know French, but I knew some stuff. And we ate at this restaurant and we were like kind of lost, so we're like, okay, Toronto, we're going to Toronto. So we get in the car and we start driving towards Toronto, and keep in mind this is January, so it's really cold, and we start driving and somehow we end up back in the United States. Like, I don't know where the GPS took us, I don't know how we got there, but it makes us exit Canada and go back into the United States, and we're like, shit, okay, so we're like, we have to go back into Canada. So we do a U-turn, try to go back into Canada, and the people at Canada, the Canadians, the Canadian Border Patrol, they're like, wait, this is sketchy. You just entered Canada, you exited Canada, and you're trying to come back into Canada? Like, no. And it turns out that my friend's uncle and grandma didn't have a Canadian visa to go into Canada because they're not American citizens and they're Colombian, so they need a visa to get into Canada. So they were like, you can't come inside. And we're like, please, we've been in this car for like 12 hours and it's only supposed to be a 4-hour trip or 5-hour trip. Can you please, like, please? So then they're like, we can do an expedited visa inside the little like immigration station that they have at the border. So they told us to park the cars here. I'm pretty sure they like searched our car or kind of something like that. And then they did the whole paperwork. They gave us the visa for them, and we're like, yes, finally, going into Canada. We drive into Canada, and this is not the worst part. We haven't gone through hell yet, and it starts blizzarding, not snowing, not drizzling snow. I don't even know, like, not little like snowfalls, blizzarding. We could not see anything at all. like, I can't even explain.
Sheet white.
Yeah, it was just like a white. Like, we cannot see the road, we cannot see cars, we cannot see anything. It was crazy. Obviously I was little so I wasn't driving, but it was crazy. So then we're driving and we're just kind of trying to find the nearest hotel to like wait it out until we get pulled over by a cop. And the cop's like, you can't be here. We're like, why? We're trying to get to a hotel. He's like, you need to leave now. And we're just like, why? He's like, you're in the middle of a lake. We were literally in the middle of a frozen lake. We were driving on a frozen lake. Can you get that to your mind? We had this big ass van with 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 people in the van on a lake. We were driving on a lake. This is crazy. He's like, the nearest hotel is like around the corner. He escorted us to the hotel and we waited it out. And then obviously I fell asleep because it was the middle of the night. We had been driving since like 9 a.m. in the morning and it was like 2 a.m. when the cop pulled us over on the lake. So we had been driving, trying to get to Toronto for the whole entire day and like half of the night. So then we waited out like at 7 a.m. We wake up and we can't find our car because the car is covered in snow. We can't find, there's like no cars, like it's just snow everywhere. No cars, you can't see any cars. So we're trying to find the car. We're like, I don't know how they try to find it, but they eventually find where the car is supposed to be because you can't see it because it's covered in snow. And they dig the car out and then it hasn't got to the worst part yet. So we're driving and then I'm like, oh mom, I feel sick. And I start throwing up. So we have like bags from like stuff we bought. So I threw up into one bag and my mom like tosses it out the window, which is kind of disgusting, but like we did that. And I literally threw up like 12 times in this van. And we started running out of bags to throw up into. I just kept throwing up in left and right, and then my mom kept throw up bags out the window. I feel sorry for whoever car was like behind me if they got like hit with throw up because like, yeah. But eventually we make it to our friend's house and we were supposed to stay there for 2 days because we were supposed to get there early, like the day that we left, but we ended up getting there the next day because we got super lost and like shit went wrong. And like as soon, I don't know what it was, but as soon as I got off of the car and into his house, I stopped throwing up. I like felt so much better. I was like, oh, I'm good. Started like building I just started doing snow angels, building snowmans, playing in the snow because we had just blizzard and there was a lot of snow everywhere, and I had a lot of fun. And then, as if things couldn't get worse, we have to drive back from Canada into the United States because our flight was leaving from New York City, so we had to drive back and we had to like return the car and stuff. So as we're driving back, we're all sick. Super sick, like flu. So we were all sick. We have like the flu. We're all coughing, and my mom's like, I have to see my daughter. Like we didn't get to stop and see her on our drive up to Canada. Can we stop by and see her on our drive back from Canada? So we literally see her for like 5 seconds. So we stop in Syracuse. We pick her up like at this building. Let's say she was at the library. Pick her up at the library, and she's like, okay, drop me off at my residence hall. We drive her like 5 minutes to her residence hall. We drop her off and we're like, okay, bye, it was nice seeing you. We have to go catch a flight. So we drive away, we catch our flight. It's like a red-eye flight, or not red-eye, I don't know what it's called when you fly like at midnight or something like that. It was really late. We got home really like at 4 in the morning. And then my sister calls us like 3 days later and she's like, I'm sick. So literally, I keep saying literally, so annoying. So she only spent 5 minutes with us and she got sick. It was just a disaster, but it was a lot of fun, and I still fell in love with New York City, and Toronto looked fun, and it was just so funny when we were leaving Toronto. We drove by Niagara Falls, but since we were in a rush to get back to the airport so we can fly back to Miami, we drove by and they were frozen, keep in mind, it was so cold, and they were like, oh look, there's Niagara Falls, and we just like waved and we kept driving. Like we could have stopped, we didn't take a picture, we just drove by them like, oh look, there it is, okay bye, we gotta go. Like, it was a terrible road trip. But I really want to go to Toronto one day because actually I haven't been there twice, because the second time I tried to go, they didn't let us into the country because we were with someone that didn't have a visa, and this time they didn't want to expedite it for us. So I don't know, we just don't learn our lesson. We just don't learn that we need visas to get in. I mean, I don't need a visa because I'm an American citizen, but like people that aren't American citizens need a visa. And Quincy has a cousin in Toronto, so we might go see her someday in the future. Hopefully it'll be so much fun. But hopefully if we go this time, it won't be a disaster like all my other trips to Toronto. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I really like your thumbs when you give me a thumbs up. And let's get this video to 10 likes. I was gonna achieve high and say 20, but I think you guys can do 10. I believe in you guys. And also thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending your time watching this video of me complaining about my trip to, I was about to say Iraq, oh my god, to Toronto. But I feel like all I do is complain on YouTube, like about stuff that happens to me. Guess more of the story is if you're going somewhere, you gotta make sure that you don't need a visa, or you have to make sure all your papers are in order, because you do not want to be stopped at the border and then not be able to do your travel plans. Subscribe, bye!